Look at this space. We expect the modern kitchen to serve as a prep station, a dining room, and a cocktail bar, often all at once. Everyone gravitates here, regardless of what they are actually doing. That natural gravity creates immediate friction. You end up with someone pulling a hot pan out of the oven, while a guest tries to pour a glass of wine, and a child works on homework right in the middle of the prep zone. Architects have relied on the traditional work triangle for decades to organize cooking tasks. But that triangle completely breaks down the moment you introduce multiple non-cooking activities into the chef's immediate workspace. To fix this, homeowners are installing a double island layout. It requires an entirely different approach to floor planning, using heavy cabinetry to forcefully direct how people move through the room. Managing that daily chaos means abandoning the single triangle. You have to physically separate the room into dedicated functional zones. Getting that separation requires a massive commitment. You are dedicating prime floor space and a premium budget to ensure your work zone and your social zone never overlap. This blueprint shows the baseline spatial requirements. You need wide clearances between counters just for human passage. When guests and cooks share that walkway, you get a bottleneck. Adding a second island reroutes traffic, pushing guests into a dedicated lane, keeping the cooking lane clear. But if your home lacks the necessary square footage, forcing two islands into the room eliminates those essential clearances. You end up creating a cramped obstacle course. This layout works exactly as intended, provided your home has the architectural footprint to support it properly. The layout divides the room by utility. The inner island houses the sinks, dishwashers, and raw food prep. The outer island is reserved entirely for serving and seating. For families where multiple people cook together, this is incredibly efficient. 2 people can chop, mix, and manage the stove simultaneously without crossing paths. It creates strict task separation. All the messy prep work stays hidden on the inner island, leaving the outer island pristine and ready for presentation. By setting up parallel work zones, you move linearly between 2 counters. You eliminate the awkward pivoting and sticking that happens when you're confined to a single crowded surface. You are essentially building 2 distinct kitchens inside the exact same room, one built for labor and one built for leisure. Doubling your base footprint completely changes your storage capacity. You get enough lower cabinetry to organize your tools precisely where you use them. That extra volume allows for highly specialized micro-storage. You can integrate built-in wine fridges, extra deep drawers for large pots, and concealed waste bins. Look at this elevation view. Because you gain massive storage capacity in the lower cabinets, you can eliminate bulky upper wall cabinets entirely, weaving a clean, open sightline. You can also customize the ergonomics of each station. You might install a lower, marble-topped island specifically for rolling dough, paired with a higher, wood-topped bar for serving drinks. The storage load shifts away from visual wall clutter and straight into hidden, highly specialized compartments. If you host frequently, the outer island functions as an ideal serving buffet. Guests can graze and pour drinks without navigating past a hot stove. That second piece of casework acts as a physical barrier. It keeps your friends close enough to carry on a conversation, but safely out of your hazardous workspace. During the day, that same outer island transitions into a dedicated homework station or a casual spot for family meals. Because the seating is elevated and positioned right on the kitchen edge, it encourages much more dynamic, casual interaction than a traditional dining table. It acts as a social magnet. Your guests have a clear place to gather, and your prep workflow stays completely intact. Executing this requires a heavy upfront investment. You are paying for a second set of custom cabinetry, additional plumbing, and premium countertop slabs. Notice how this quadrant chart plots the upgrade. A double island sits squarely in the high-cost, high-impact zone. It is a highly visible luxury feature that directly boosts a home's appraisal value. Homes with high-end kitchen islands can yield a return of 50% or more on that specific cost when it comes time to sell. In a competitive real estate market, layouts like this differentiate a property, often causing the home to sell significantly faster. While the initial capital required is steep, you are making a strategic financial investment in high-end real estate that pays dividends at closing. Despite these advantages, you should not force this layout into every home. This matrix shows exactly who benefits from the upgrade. If you are a high-volume entertainer, a multi-cook family, or a serious culinary enthusiast, the layout perfectly supports your daily routines. Conversely, if you have a tight galley layout or a strict limited renovation budget, you should avoid this project entirely. A double island succeeds only when it aligns precisely with both the rigid dimensions of your architecture and the specific way you live in your home. Because you are navigating multiple massive fixtures in one room, the margins for spatial planning are incredibly tight. If your clearances are off by just a few inches, you ruin the workflow. A space that costs tens of thousands of dollars will feel permanently cramped. Attempting a renovation of this scale without a dedicated spatial designer and an expert contractor is a massive financial risk. That is why we recommend Castlehaven Construction for homeowners in Dunwoody and the greater Atlanta area. They specialize in optimizing complex kitchen workflows, executing custom designs, and delivering superior craftsmanship.